Guys, I mean, where do I start? This was a video I was going to record yesterday, and I decided against it. I thought, let me just think a little before I start to react because yesterday was frustrating. Yesterday was very, very, very frustrating. Arsenal with the chance to go 8 points clear in the Premier League didn't take the opportunity in a game against Liverpool that didn't meet up to my estimations. The game itself, whether Arsenal won or lost, was boring. It was really, really boring. But over that, I wanted my team to win, and we didn't. And it's not even like we put up a good fight and didn't win. The application was poor. The energy after the first 20 minutes was awful. And there's some home truths to be told about Arsenal that we're going to get into. I'm going to cover the game as we always do, very, very briefly. 0-0, nothing to write home about. Arsenal actually had less possession than Liverpool. Liverpool got into a comfortable rhythm after, like I said, the first 20 minutes. Again, before then, Arsenal had majority of the momentum. Past that point, they kind of lost control of the game and never got it back. The second half was literally Liverpool getting the ball back from Arsenal not being able to keep it and passing it around. Liverpool didn't have a shot on target throughout the whole of the game. We'll take a look at the stats very briefly. Yeah, no shots on target, and a lot of their shots were outside of the box, not threatening. Arsenal had a couple of opportunities, nothing again that I would really write home about. Creating chances is something that we're going to discuss, but also the application, the effort. Yes, it's Liverpool. Yes, it's a top team, but a top team in a disappointing moment. And without a striker, for me, Arsenal had to make the opportunity count and they didn't. And that's something that they need to reflect on. And we will be discussing because you don't miss those kind of opportunities against the Liverpool team that I think was there for the taking. Yes, they were a threat. Yes, they had players who can always do something, but Arsenal in the moment that they're in, Arsenal with the opportunity that they know they have, really should have taken advantage of it. If we just go forward into the lineup as mentioned, Liverpool without a striker, Verts was up top, Szoboszlai just behind, Frimpong and Gakpo on the wings, Gravenberch and McAllister in the central mid positions, Konate, Van Dijk in the centre back positions, and Bradley and Gyökeres in the fullback positions. For Arsenal, it was a lineup that I think we all expected. I think it was the same lineup against Bournemouth in Campe and Timber fullbacks. Saliba, Gabriel in the centre backs, Rice, Odegaard, Zubimendi in midfield, Gyökeres up front, Trossard and Saka on the wings. And in the first couple of minutes, Saka was a threat. He was absolutely destroying Gyökeres, showing his quality. I think if we just get into the nitty gritty of the game, disappointing, absolutely disappointing performance from Victor Gyökeres. Again, game after game, I look at it and I question why we made the signing. And I think a lot of Arsenal fans are have gone through a myriad of emotions. There's different camps, and I think the camps are changing as time has gone on. There's people who were excited about having a striker, someone who is a gunman, a bagsman, someone who always has scored goals, whether it was in the Championship or in the Portuguese league. Yes, this is a step higher, but for many, this was someone who would change the mold of what Arsenal had had in Gabriel Jesus and in Kai Havertz. He would be someone who would get you the goals. When you look at what we've actually got from him, those people in that camp, if you are still in that camp, you're stronger than I know. You're one of God's strongest soldiers, I've got to tell you. There's people who were apprehensive about him but bought into the idea because they wanted a different option. And there's people who were flat out just against him coming into the team. Those three camps, I'm sure there's been such a movement and swing to those people in those camps. For the people who never wanted him, they are proven right game after game after game after game. He has had an awful run of it at the moment. Zero shots, I think, in the last 7 games or something that I saw, whether true or not. He is in a position where he's only had 3 non-penalty goals in 19 Premier League games. For Arsenal striker, that is not good enough. If it was Kai Havertz, we'd be complaining. If that was Gabriel Jesus, we'd be complaining. It's not different for him. Yes, this is a step up, but it's a step up that he said he was ready for, that Arsenal deemed him ready for. And what we're seeing in actuality is someone who is having low involvement. And yeah, you can have low involvement in terms of the amount of touches you may have. If we look here, he had 8 touches in what, 64 minutes? Not good enough, but yeah, you can have low touches, but you also need to be effective in the game. you also need to be a presence. He got praised last game in the Bournemouth game for what some people said he held up the ball against five people, dragged five people out of their positions or occupied five people. What really happened is a header from Gabriel Martinelli went over. He looked to try and get the ball. He wasn't able to get it. The ball was actually taken away from him. And the ball found itself to Odegaard, who passed to Declan Rice, who put the ball into the back of the net. If we're celebrating those kind of moments as being big moments, then we are in a world of trouble. Like, this is a person who should be taking us to the title. And right now, I think he's hindering more than he's helping. I don't see the impact that I would be expecting from a player like him. He's someone who I saw was running in behind a lot in Portugal. He's not getting those same opportunities on the very rare occurrence. I can remember Leeds where he got that opportunity where he ran in behind. Most times he's getting caught or he's not able to outpace or outstrength the defenders that he's going up against. In this game here, Van Dijk and Konate had the easiest run of it. Easiest run of it. They had a very easy game. If you look at the duels and is he battling? Is he fighting? Well, no, he's not even winning the duels. He's not even having those duels. It's concerning to me. He can't drop deep. His ball control is poor. And again, this isn't a targeted campaign against Gyökeres. I would say this about anybody that isn't performing. But when you cost 65 million, when you're on 200K a week, when you have the reputation that you have of scoring 50 plus goals back to back, the pressure is on. The Arsenal number 9 position, playing up top as a striker, is never easy. You wear the famous number 14 number on the back of your shirt. Expectation will follow you. You have to deliver. And he's not delivering. And it's woeful. And you look at options around the league, and it's people that you wouldn't even dream of being compared to. Igor Thiago is one of them. You're looking at Dominic Calvert-Lewin. We're talking about people even comparing now, going back and saying Arsenal should have got Sesko. He probably would have been a better fit from what I'm seeing. Sesko can link up the play, can drop deep, can kind of operate in multiple facets of the game. You're looking at so many options that when Arsenal signed Gyökeres, you're like, no, he's gonna score goals. He's gonna be on the end of things, and he's not. And yes, the team and Mikel Arteta have to play and take their part in this. The creativity element isn't there. Odegaard, who was really good against Bournemouth, didn't show up. Did not show up at all. It wasn't good enough. And we talk about Mikel, the utilization of the squad as well. I'll get into some of the people that came off the bench. Noni was probably the best of a bad lot. Miles Lewis Skelly was absolutely shambolic when he came before injured. Hincampe, who was so good last season, but was getting torn up by Frimpong on the regular. Gabriel Jesus was an awful cameo. Gabriel Martinelli, not much better. And what happened with Bradley and him was regrettable to say the least. He doesn't need to be getting into that, and it serves us no purpose at all. Eze, cold. He's coming absolutely cold. He hasn't even had minutes off the bench. Bringing him into a game like this and expecting him to have a major impact is like betting on the lottery. Get him warm, get him some minutes off the bench. I look at all of these elements, and yes, Arsenal, if we look at the table, are still 6 points ahead of the teams that are below them. So people will be thinking, oh, why would it be panic station? You have to take advantage of the opportunities that are presented to you. And Arsenal had a beautiful opportunity to not necessarily to end the title race, but to put a massive dagger into the emotions and feelings of Man City, who have dropped points, I believe, in the last 2 or 3 games. Arsenal had the opportunity to extend their lead to 8 points. That gives you more of a cushion if anything was to go wrong. You are still going to the Etihad. And yes, Man City have tough games of their own and they could drop more points. And they could drop more points. I'm not disregarding that fact. But I'm focusing on Arsenal here. And what I came in to this game thinking is that Arsenal would go 8 points clear. And it's because I thought we were ready. We were ready. This is a moment that we should have capitalized on. And it's not a draw where I say, we thought we were denied by superior defense or a goalkeeper that was in top form. Alisson had a decent game. He had a decent game, but I didn't think Arsenal worked him to the point that we should have worked him. To say all of this, yes, the opportunity is still there for Arsenal to win the title. We are in a strong position. We are in a strong position, but these are things that you need to talk about. You can't go through the season just saying, well, Gyökeres is part of a winning team, so everything's okay. No, it's not. Our creative element is not good enough. We need to be more creative. And in a game like this, you need to take risk earlier on. Why are we waiting till the 64th minute to take off Gyökeres? You could see in the first half, he wasn't doing the job. Take him off. Put on Gabriel Jesus. Give him more time. That's the only options we had. Marino, for example, you could have probably brought on and he would have had a bigger impact. Like at a certain time, would you sacrifice one of Rice or Zubimendi to bring on an Eze so you can play Eze and Odegaard? Do you need both when you're chasing the game or you're trying to finish the game off. And in the second half, Arsenal had lost complete and total control. That's something that they need to look into at home. That's a game that they should be dominating, that they should be able to regain some control in. I think they only got control towards the latter stage of the game, but I would be expecting more. Guys, I want to know your thoughts, your opinions, what you think. Arsenal will be playing, I believe, Nottingham Forest away next in the league. Man City have Manchester United. Again, it's a tough game for both teams, but this is an opportunity, and you don't know when opportunities like that will come. Man City are strengthening themselves with the signing of Semenyo, who is, I believe, the third top goal scorer in the league. They already have number one, more firepower added. Arsenal are struggling for firepower on the regular, and so that's something that they need to look into. I personally am looking forward to the return of Kai Havertz. I think he links up Saka a lot better. I think they operate very well from the right. So does his relationship with Odegaard. I think he's the best choice that we have at the moment. And I think we need to be getting more minutes for the likes of Eze and Madueke. Yes, Arsenal will have, I believe, Portsmouth and then Chelsea coming up. So those are games that they can get minutes in, but that's something for them to look into. Also, with the Bradley incident, again, very regrettable. Hopefully, the injury isn't as bad as it seems, but it did look pretty bad. And the injury to Hincampe looks like it's a hamstring strain. So each team didn't leave without its casualties, but both teams left with a point. And for Arsenal, we'll see if that's a point gained or 2 points lost. But for me, it definitely feels like an opportunity lost. Guys, I want to hear your thoughts, your opinions, what you thought about the Arsenal performance, where Arsenal can improve, what Gyökeres needs to do, or does he need to be removed completely? I want to hear it all. Make sure to like, subscribe. It's been EDA. Peace.